Oh, this is the vlog?
Yeah.
Oh, sick! So
what part of it do you think was going to be?
Am I going to be in the vlog? The bit with me like with the moped and shit?
Well, I'll decide how I edit it, but yeah, sure.
So cool.
So recently I decided to visit Columbia Road Flower Market as I hadn't been in a while. And of course I had to recruit someone to come with me for the vibes.
Which I've always been doing.
Which is?
Cultivating outstanding vibes.
This is Harry. Alas, he was not in the market to buy any plants, as is evidenced by this screenshot right here. So, join us as we meander through the street and listen to our meandering conversation.
And the coffee shops on this road look nice. They're cute.
They're so chic.
So chic.
Yeah. What? That's the whole point of Columbia Road.
It's chic.
Be chic, have podcasts, look good.
What?
This is just a catwalk, baby.
Oh.
No one's here to buy plants.
Well, actually, I think
no one's here to look good.
there's definitely some truth in that.
Since we were walking up and down that catwalk, it only felt right for me to show you what we were wearing on that day.
These is Comme des Garçons Converse.
Okay.
They're quite old. I actually wore them to Glastonbury because they're kind of trashy and they've like been through their love phase.
So cool, you went to Glastonbury.
I'm very cool.
Trousers.
Trousers. I was walking down the street in Shoreditch one day and someone else was wearing them. I stopped him and asked him where he got them from.
And where was that?
A basic ASOS fit.
Oh,
Sorry.
Boring. Okay.
Yeah.
Shirt.
The shirt is made by a friend, gh.sartorial, if you go on Instagram. This cloth I picked it from the Cloth House in Camden, which opens once a month.
Okay.
Where you can get the cloth, and it's got a rather nice embroidery, which is hand done.
Where's the watch from?
The watch is my dad's old watch. It's a tag. Sorry, it's quite flashy. It's quite flashy.
Where'd you get the helmet from?
The helmet is a Bell Bullet. It's a classic. It's called a Bell Bullet. It's a classic vintage motorbike style helmet. Full head, because the most common place to get motorbike head injuries is on the chin. So although getting like an open face helmet is a little bit more cool, I was like, safety first. Gotta protect that chin.
What an important message.
The audio came out funny in this section, so let me just whiz through this in post. My sandals are from Leão de Ouro, a department store in Brazil. My shorts are from Muji. The t-shirt is from Uniqlo. The bag is from Nike. The bandana is just one of those things I have. I don't know where I got it from. The watch is from Argos. And the necklace is from Vinegar Yard in London Bridge.
My favourite part about Columbia Road, or walking around this area on a Sunday, is seeing people walking away with like a stupidly large plant that's so awkward to carry.
No, he's done it well.
Yeah, exactly. That's not even that big though. Oh, in the bag. Yeah. I saw a guy carrying like a banana plant that was like half his height, all the way back to like Old Street Station, which is a good 15-minute walk. They don't seem to really organize stuff in terms of varieties or like species or anything. There aren't like cactus specialists or anything. It's kind of just whatever they have.
An English rose.
I like that guy's shirt. That's my finger. Oh, there's chilies. Do you think your flatmate would appreciate something edible?
A chili plant is actually such a shout. I might get her a chili plant, but we can always come back.
£4 for 3. That's a pretty good price.
I think I might get her a chili plant.
Yeah, they're really cool. I just blocked what song this guy's doing.
What, 50?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, she's back in the top 40.
He's doing it so slowly.
She's back in the top 40 after like 4 years. UK.
What's the first time? Which song?
No, not she's back in the top, but like this one song has come back.
Oh, right.
I've read this in the news this morning.
But didn't she release an album like fairly recently? Oh look, they've got bags of lavender
Oh,
perfume.
Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer is back in the UK charts. There you go. That's the news.
Love
Swiftie.
that.
We're all Swifties at heart.
Is Cruel Summer a song?
Pardon?
Is Cruel Summer a song?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They have lavender perfume bags.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, she would love that as well because she really likes smells.
Sorry. And everyone loves lavender.
She's kind of obsessed with smells. Lavender's like very soothing, very calm.
Yeah, and it's not overwhelming.
I might get a couple lavender bags. Yeah. Really nice.
They're 2 for £5. We can always come back. Yeah.
Really nice though.
Yeah.
I think that's my leader now.
Okay.
That beats chili.
The chili has been dethroned.
That beats chili.
I mean, these are also chilies as well, but these are... what I find annoying about buying them as plants is that you don't... The way that we name the produce doesn't necessarily align with the name of the plant, i.e...
Oh, the Latin name of the plant.
No, but as in, like, if I was with my mum and she's like, oh, buy this pepper, not that pepper, but then you see a plant, they just call it chili pepper. And that doesn't actually align with the kind of, like, if I said, like, Scotch bonnet, habanero, blah, 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 that they never actually label plants like that, they just say chili. And I'm like, what the hell, what kind of chili is that?
You can see the picture.
Sometimes, if they have one. Oh, it's a ghost pepper, okay.
I really like Kentias.
Kentia palms,
Yeah.
those ones.
Yeah. It's really versatile. Got to take care of. Pretty. Makes my flat in the UK feel a little bit less like I'm in the UK.
And it takes up a good amount of space.
Yeah.
But because I'm me, I always avoid buying big plants that I know I can grow to be bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why would I pay double the price when I could just grow it myself? And that's why there's so many plants that I have that are like this big that eventually I'm like, don't worry, one day, in like 3 years.
So Benga, tell me about your interest in plants.
I think plants for me are something to take care of, number one. I don't have any pets, I don't have any kids, and I don't think that's happening anytime soon. But I enjoy the fact that you can like put something in and get something out in a very clear way.
Yeah.
With things like work and like friendships and blah, 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 there's a lot more, I guess, uncertainty. You could wake up one morning and suddenly you've moved teams at work, or your manager leaves, or whatever. There's a lot of stuff that's out of your control. With plants, I think it's the fact that you can, to an extent, control the environment. And the way after a while when I worked out and I did a bit of research and understood that you can kind of rig it, i.e. you know, if I give it this much light, this much water, this much fertilizer, this will happen.
It's like a game that you're good at.
It's a game that I keep winning. Yeah. And it's a game that you can also get better at. You can learn how to improve. You can also learn with experience.
And you like the pace of this game. You like the style of this game.
Exactly. Because I can basically fail a few times and then get it right, or I can like cheat code and look up how to do it myself. And so sometimes I've given myself a bit of a challenge, like, okay, this plant is a bit more difficult. Let me just see. Let's just see how well I can do. So I think I like that. And it feels like high but low stakes at the same time. I don't know how to explain it.
Changes are £15, them giants, £15 only. It can mix 3 for 12 in the middle, 3 pots for 12, come up every year. All your house plants.
This is a different Bacchia, which is the same genus as the one I pointed out earlier. I also had one, it died. But
Why did it die?
that's a great question. Let's ask the person whose care I left it in whilst I was away.
Ooh.
Yes. And that's
Cut to.
That is why I never leave my plants in anyone's care anymore. I just accept that they're gonna not get watered whilst I'm gone.
I find like my plant care is very simple. It's
Tell us about your philosophy.
the first thing, obviously just keep watering it, and the rule I've been taught,
Yes.
don't worry if the top layer is dry, put your finger in to the soil,
Yeah.
and if it gets down to if you put it in around here, and it's still dry at the base of your thumb, then you should probably water it.
I agree with that philosophy, and I like having rules of thumb. No pun intended. Maybe, but that's probably actually where it came from.
No. That is absolutely not where that expression comes from. I will leave it to you to look it up for yourselves, but it is not that trivial.
But I like it.
so pretty.
Which ones? Oh yeah, wow. What are you?
That's so cool.
They look like they would
What are
shed
these called?
everywhere. Amaranth. Look at all the colours. Yeah, I like having rules of thumb of like, okay, check it at this point, do this, do that, instead of having it super scientific down to the number.
Yeah.
I like having a rule of thumb because it makes me feel like I'm the same with cooking.
Yeah.
I would never actually measure out a teaspoon of this and a tablespoon of that and time it for 10 minutes and stuff. If I follow a recipe, I will follow it once, and from then on, the next time I make it, I'm just gonna go off the vibe of the memory of that recipe, not actually follow it. I find it easier to actually do stuff if I just go off memory and vibes more so than the specific rules.
Two for a fiver, sedums, grasses a fiver, papyrus. Papyrus grass a fiver.
So yeah, my philosophy, so keep it watery, right? And then it's really simple. It's like, find a spot for it, and just watch it. And like, let it settle into the spot.
Yeah,
Give it
pay
a few
attention
days.
to the signs.
Get.
Oh, they got agave.
Just
Yeah. I mean, it's a small... Oh, this is jasmine.
love jasmine. Although, oh, there it is. Oh, just smell of
This
someone.
one didn't smell, but that one did smell.
I feel like none of these are that smelly. Maybe it's just too much going on here.
Some plants only smell at certain times of the day.
Yeah, these ones aren't smelling right now. Actually, I didn't know that.
Do you know? Yeah. Do you know what this is called?
I do not.
Bird of paradise.
Bird of paradise.
Yeah.
Is that what it looks like when it's like fully? Is that
Yeah,
the full flower?
This is the flower. Yeah, it's kind of dried up,
That's what it looks like.
but that's why it's called a bird of paradise.
Because it looks kind of like a bird.
Of paradise, like birds of paradise
I like it.
are like very colourful.
Do I like it? I mean,
I personally, I'm not here with the flower. I think the foliage is more interesting. But there are different types of this plant.
Yeah.
So I'll point it out to you.
really waxy.
Oh, like that. That's bird of paradise.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah, and they go very tall.
Yeah.
But again, I'm here for more for the foliage than I am.
I like these banana leaves as well. I didn't realize you could actually get those in the UK.
Bananas. You know my bananas are my favorite plants.
Are
I
they?
think banana plants.
They're
my
really
favourite
cool.
plant.
Really, really cool. Big fan.
And I didn't know you could get. I also didn't get in the UK, and I didn't know you can get the ones that are this sort of.
Do you know if they could be happy in the UK?
Well, they can be happy, but they probably won't produce bananas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
But my banana plant had a.
Oh, those are carnivorous, aren't they?
Yes. I think then is this an Nepenthes?
Monkey.
Just says carnivorous. I don't understand why oftentimes they won't label plants. They just kind of give it a generic name, but they won't give you the scientific name. Yes, it's colloquially refers to as a pitcher plant.
A pitcher.
Yeah.
It's like a pitcher.
Exactly.
A little hibiscus.
I used to get those confused with banana plants all the time,
Yeah.
but they're canna lilies.
Yeah.
But I think the foliage looks kind of similar.
I really like banana plants. Why do I like them so much?
This is a question
Give out
I need to
nice
answer myself.
energy,
Yeah.
Nice vibe.
As long as
Maybe
you.
that's my rule for plants. It's just like, what's the vibe you're giving out?
No, but this is how I have like built up the plants that I have now. I've just been off vibes. Like, am I drawn to this when I see it?
Yeah. Monstera.
I only recently acquired my first Monstera, but it's not Monstera deliciosa, which is like the most common one that everyone knows. I got a Monstera standardliana and a Monstera alantonia. But I don't know if I even like Monstera deliciosa. I just think they're everywhere.
They're very popular. Well, they're very easy to take care of.
Yeah, and they have like the tropical feel or whatever, and they take up a lot of space.
The thing I like about them is that the leaf develops in like quite an interesting way.
Yeah, and you can see leaf by leaf that it's getting bigger. And
Yeah, and you can see like what a really old one looks like.
yeah, so you know where you're going towards.
Yeah, like you've got whole prestige.
Whole prestige?
Leaf whole prestige.
Do you know what holes are actually called?
What?
Do you know like the is it a scientific term? I don't know. They are called fenestrations. Fenestrations.
Do you think the dry flowers are so pretty?
Yeah, one of my friends was actually looking for these. I have no idea what her vibe is though. If you're watching, here are all the options.
So pretty. How do we feel about blue and orange as like a colour scheme? Because I love it, but a lot of people hate it.
In general, yeah, but I don't like this blue with this orange.
I think it's such a pretty blue.
I like the blue, but I don't like it with the orange. If I was gonna get that blue, or like I would go for that, which has it with more the straw colour.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's quite pretty.
What do they mean by everlasting?
This simple, seemingly innocent question led us into a spiraling conversation about immortality.
Would you like to be everlasting if you had the opportunity?
Yes, I would actually.
You'd like to live forever?
Yes, I would.
What would you do after year 300?
Same old shit I've always been doing.
Which is?
Cultivating outstanding vibes.
There's a difference between wanting to live forever and wanting to be able to choose the time of your own passing. I feel like, in all seriousness, we don't. We're so accustomed to the reality of death that we don't make as much of an effort as we should trying to extend human lifespans. Like, we should be researching how to live forever, and we kind of are in various ways, and like overcoming longevity and other like public health stuff. But that's not a bad thing. You know, I feel like it gets a bad rap. Like there's almost like a religious philosophical objection to that.
That we need to die.
That like research into longevity is somehow like immoral.
I've not heard this school of thought.
I mean, no. Maybe I'm just getting frustrated at like random people that don't exist. Yeah.
But because I mean, a lot of people say like, I'd like to live for a long time, but I wouldn't want to live forever because I'd be lonely or my friends would have died.
I want everyone else to be living forever as well.
But we'd run out of space.
Well, we'd figure that out.
Would we?
The universe is a big place.
Aren't we already running out of space?
Can you imagine like how much more intelligence would accumulate in like engineers and our ability to like solve existential design problems if you didn't have this like 35-year period at the start of life where you're upskilling and like this like
35 years of upskilling? That's such a sad way to like describe the majority of your career.
Can you imagine if like you took all the world's best experts? Can you imagine if Einstein was? How smart would Einstein be today if he was still knocking around? And like, how many problems would we solve as a society?
But my question is should you bear the responsibility of continuously developing and learning and improving in perpetuity? Or should you be allowed to like do something else? Because you know there's kind of the sunk cost of I've already learned or put in this much time or effort this long. It would take me so long to teach somebody else to do it and take over from me. So the pressure will be on that person to just keep learning and keep developing and keep researching past the point that's maybe like they're over it. They're not passionate about it, so they're not going to make the discoveries as quickly. They're not going to be as obsessed with it. Whereas someone else who's like young, fresh-faced and new would have that energy, but they don't have the knowledge. Like, would Einstein really want to be Einstein forever? Or was that just an Einstein era, and then he rebrands and wants to become a guitarist?
Yeah, and if so, I think he would make a really interesting guitarist, given his background. He'd probably like reinvent, like he'd probably make some amazing music, like that, like you know, he does some shit with the transistors in the amp, right? And you make a new kind of music possible that's never been possible before.
Yeah,
I think I'm yet to. Do people tire of life? I mean, yeah, if you're depressed.
Not even just depressed though. I feel like, I mean, I'm not depressed, I don't think. And I'm not saying I'm tired of life now, but there are enough things in this life that make me feel okay with the fact that it's going to come to an end. I don't think I would want to live forever. I think I'm cool with the fact that this will come to an end.
You think you'd reach a point in your like in year 700 where you're like, I've tried all the things.
Maybe
I've done all the bits.
104? I don't think I would want to live way beyond where humans currently live up to.
I already feel like my lifespan's too short. There's so much shit I want to do. I want to have so many different careers. I want to do everything, and
the idea that I can squeeze it all into like 70 years is just like, it's just not gonna happen. And I'm annoyed about that. And that's why I kind of, but maybe there would be a point where I genuinely would feel like, oh, I'm tapping out now. If I ever got to that point, I've never really considered this before, that would be pretty cool.
I mean, to be fair, what I would say is that if you really could live forever, then you could essentially live every life that you were gonna, every life you want to live, you could live the whole thing. I.e., if you wanted to go live in Kuwait for 20 years, you could do that. Then you could come, because a lot of stuff that we have in this life currently is trade-off. I do this because I want to do this now, but that means I can't do that. Opportunity cost for all my economists out there.
Yeah, I hate this.
So I guess you would lose the opportunity cost because you would do this thing and then just do something else and then just do something else because there's nothing stopping you doing all the things.
Yeah. So good. You're cutting costs from life. There you go. Give me the pill. Invent it. Make it happen.
I really don't know. I've always said I wouldn't want to live forever. But now that I'm thinking about it in terms of literally being able to go and live a whole life and then we'll live another life afterwards, maybe
It'd be fire.
We were actually having this conversation outside of a pottery shop that I wanted to go inside of, but I'm very curious to know, so let me know in the comments, would you live forever if you could? And if you would, why? And if not, why not?
one of the most surprising things for me getting into plants is how expensive pots are.
I know, especially nice pots.
Like, this is the size of my left hand, and then it's £14.50, and that's not bad.
They're so pretty though.
They are. And if I was into plants for the aesthetics and like cared about colour schemes and put this there and that colour this, I would spend so much money on pots. But I've become the person that just gets a plastic tray and puts the plant on a plastic tray, and that's one and done.
I love these blue ones. I feel like there's so much in it. There's so many different colours.
Yeah. If I were to make my own pots, I'd want to make ones that are glazed like this.
It looks like when you look at the ocean, like you can sort of see meters into it.
I don't understand what you mean.
As in, like, that's a blue pot, right? That, I'm like, the more I look at it, the more I see.
Right, there's layers.
Yeah, it looks like there's like depth. In the same way that the ocean is.
Do you find the ocean scary? Do you find the ocean scary?
Yeah, I mean all this Tyson stuff.
Oh, no, not that. Just like, I find open water a bit unnerving.
Yeah, also quite liberating though.
Yeah, especially once you release. That is one of my favorite Pixar, Disney, or whatever films.
So at this point, we were at the end of the road. So we looped back around to pick up the lavender that Harry had decided on way back at the beginning.
Rate it out of 10.
Potent.
Potent. A potent out of 10.
I get two of these, please. Thank you. Is card okay? Thank you.
Even though that's the end of the road and we got the goods that we came here for, it's not the end of the vlog because Harry showed me a place that's just around the corner which has animals and plants. Hackney City Farm. I didn't film that much, so I'm just going to give you a quick 3-minute supercut to round out the video.
It's an urban farm. There's another one in Kentish Town.
What does it mean to be an urban farm?
Well, as in like we're in the middle of the city, I suppose, in the countryside.
I think some vegetables there and some herbs.
It's a little taste of the home counties in Hackney.
For everyone who's moved from the home counties to Hackney.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, look at the babies at the back. I've never seen ducks with this kind of
They're beautiful.
iridescence. That's really cool.
Ducks are lit.
Oh my god, this pig is huge.
This is you when you're tired.
When I'm super tired, I do snore. So. These pigs are huge. Is that a normal size for a pig? you think that we're just like indoctrinated to believe that pigs are way smaller than this? Or am I just not well versed in the size of animals? Because this pig seems huge to me.
I feel like most pigs are that size. They've all been given nice thigh-high boots.
Yeah, it's quite a look. I've never noticed how pretty thistles are until this very moment right here, right now. But they are. So, this is the garden. I don't know if it's a community garden or if it's managed by people who run this farm. Is this a fig? Or a pear? Is this a pear? I think this is a pear. Yeah, it's a pear. I can feel it because it's really firm. And that's an apple tree. But it's so weird because this is like, there's flats right there. But it's surprisingly quiet in here, even though we are literally in the city. I find these very cool. I would like to have these in my garden one day. Look at that pollen. You can quite literally see the pollen on the bee. Whoa. I don't actually know what this is, but you can see it's like partially flowered. That's really cool.
Alright people, that is all I've got for you in this video. Thank you for sticking with me and thank you for accompanying us on this journey. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.